Okay, so I am going to start by rolling on some chalk paint in a pretty green color that I had mixed at Lowe's, and it is called Lush Sage. So I'm going to actually start by rolling that on. So I'm using a 6-inch foam roller, and I'm just going to cover large sections, maybe, I don't know, 12 by 12. And then I'm going to use a little dry brush with a little light gray chalk paint, and I'm going to dabble it just a tiny bit to model it, so it's not quite so new looking, and then go back through. And this is going to kind of give it more of a vintagey finish. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is use a couple of large format stencils that I got from Michael's, and I'm just going to use the 6-inch roller again to roll them on there. I used a chalk marker to measure both lengthwise and widthwise, and that's how I'm going to lay out my stencil. I'm going pretty light on my roll because I want it to look kind of faded and a little bit vintagey. So I'm not going super heavy on the stenciling. That would be my husband shutting the door. So it's a little light and a little modded. I didn't cover it heavy or thick. Okay, so I have my first layer of medallions on, and I did 4 across. I'm actually going to go down the middle and add 1 more row of light colored medallions. So I'm just going to go 2 shades lighter than this. Okay, so the way I like to do paintings, any kind of painting, I like to eyeball it, kind of free flow. So I was looking at this space here and decided I wanted to add a little bit of a darker motif, and so I just taped off part of the stencil and fit it in right between the medallions. And so I added that, and I think I'm now going to add a little bit of the charcoal gray in down the middle before I add the border. Okay, so I've added this Grecian border at both ends. Let me see if I can give you a better view of the whole thing. It's a huge runner. But I want to do something a little more free-handed on the side, only because that's a little bit more of my personality. And so I'm going to show you how to do a simple, maybe a canthus style or boxwood style leaf, and that's what I'm going to add to the border. Okay, I'm going to use a small artist brush to add a little bit of a free-formed botanical edging here. You do not have to do this, by the way. You can just use the stencil and go all the way down, but it's just really not my personality. So I'm just going to add some basic lines and then come in with, oh, that's my cheese. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the pattern. So the next thing I'm going to do, actually I'm going to do 2 things to age it. One, I'm going to use a little bit of this black-brown mixed water and just do some simple flecks. And then I'm also going to use a brown wax to give it a little bit of a burnt edge or French bleed. And I'll show you guys that. So I'm just simply pouncing the edges with a little bit of this black-brown water to give it that kind of aged look.